Okay, so today is July 7th, 2022, and it's a daily dosey dose of Asada Israel. So it's really just like an intuitive message, something that just been these been my this just me channeling in these past few days. I received this massive download from the universe, and it's like it really just put a lot of things into perspective. And it's broke versus broken. The concept of being broke and being broken. Like, cause we tend to focus on just the wrong things, and like this really got me just I don't know. But first, I'm gonna start with just my definition on broke versus broken. So like broke is like when you learning a lesson. So like you broke something. That means something happened to you. Something broke within you that has you out your comfort zone, and you need to figure it out. Like it's an unlikely circumstance, sort of say. Not saying unlikely, because you could be put in a likely circumstance and it's still unlikely at the moment. But still, it's just something uncertain. Like you're unsure about. You're ignorant towards at the moment. To learn a lesson. That's why it's learning a lesson. So it's like you being victimized. Because I don't really want to even say victimized. Like I wrote that down, but it just didn't sound right to say. But that's what it is, really. Being victimized and it happened. Versus broken, where it's like you're repeating that same cycle. That means you're not broke anymore. You're broken. Like something's not right. Something's not working up here to where you didn't learn that lesson before. And that's being and playing the victim. Like you're not being victimized no more. You being and playing the victim, because you ain't even healed from that first time you was victimized. Oh, yeah, it's getting good. Ooh. But so as I was like just getting myself prepared to make a video, what was actually I got this thought came into this message came into my head. I'm gonna say, I ain't gonna just say like I don't know where it came from, because I do know where it come from. I just stop saying that. Like, you do know where these thoughts come from, so stop belittling them and say them for what they are. It's a message from the universe. But as I learn myself, I learn the truth, and that really just, I had to sit with that for a second, because it had me like, oh. Because literally, as you learn yourself, you learn the truth. And that, like, first I have two songs that I want to bring up. But this first song that I want to say is Nelsia Options. Oh, she snapped on that song. Because it's about women knowing their worth and knowing that you admit that you are broken. Don't be afraid to admit that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. Like, we live, like, the society we live in, the world we grew up in, it fucking broke us. It had us fucking broken, thinking that being broken was okay. And it's not. It's not. Like, I'm reading this book. It's crazy. I got it sitting on my bed. But I'm reading this book, and like, it's really time for economic injustice, like economic, political, whatever you want to call it. Like, It's time for all African socialist government, for real. I'm just put that out though. But like, we need to get this together. Like, take the chains off for real, because like, we can't keep calling each other broke if we all broken. That's the reality of it. And it's like, being comfortable in your comfort zone. Like, that's like, your comfort zone is supposed to be your place to release and do all of that. But like she said in this song, like, I need more than a little bit, because right now I'm not feeling it. Just want the love, that's all. But you don't never answer my call. Can't even be friends. I can't even give you one more chance. Boy, I gave you all I got. You got my heart and won't let go. Cause it's like, you gave this person all of this, like all of you. And it's like, cause you got comfortable. Like, and I'm not even just saying like in a relationship. I'm saying just people in general, energy, your person. Like, who, I can't even continue this because I realize like everybody don't have the same emotional intelligence level I have. And it's like, you have to deal with your shit. And in saying that, like, if you know you a fucked up person, admit that you are a fucked up person. Become aware of the things that you do. Like, hold on. First, if you're aware enough to know that you are a fucked up person, then that's your obligation to change. That is the universe telling you that it is time for you to do something different, because you are broken and it's time for you to break out that cycle. So being comfortable in your comfort zone won't work anymore. And that brings me to this. So yesterday I was watching, I like watching tonight's conversation. I like watching their little shorts and stuff on the thing until I get the app. But I wrote something in the comments under the video. Do men benefit more than relationships than women? And I said, that's the sad truth, that they do, in a way. Like, if we look at it from just the, like, how toxic, from the toxic standpoint, not looking at it from the healthy standpoint right now, because this is a toxic statement in itself. So right now we're defending a toxic perspective. But to make it make sense, this is how we gonna do it. Because I had to say that, because when in the comments I was talking to the dude and I realized, like, I said it. I ain't finna read all this. But I said the sad truth, because women shoulder the burdens of the home and men shoulder the burdens of the world. Men come home to escape. How can a woman escape her natural habitat when all she desires is peace in her natural habitat? So it's like, in me saying that, it's like, she cultivated this place of peace in her life. And in welcoming you into her life, she knows she's welcoming your pain as well. And it's like, she's going to nurture you. And then as time goes on, you put a baby in her, she's going to nurture those children. And it's like, if the man isn't nurturing him to himself, if he isn't fulfilling to himself, and she don't have the level of confidence, like the level of confidence, really. I'm gonna just say that. That's the word that came out. That's the word I'm gonna use. But she don't have the level of confidence to just deal with that. Then it's gonna break her. That's when she becomes broken now. Because he was already broken. That's why he came after for her shelter. And she became broken because she repeated that same cycle of see, that's why I don't like defending stuff like this, because it puts you in a toxic loop. And it's like, it's very argumentative, because it's like you could say the same thing. He did the same thing for her because she brings in the world as well. So it's like, but like, that's why, like, I really, like, in me, see, our minds tend to play tricks. The whole purpose in me bringing up this message was this thing was to read a part of it, not the whole thing, and talk about why I did it. See, accountability, you gotta become aware of your shit. But it was the last part I said that really had me like, ugh. The real problem is that women and men need to learn to love themselves and to create a sacred space in the bond to release and cultivate new blessings and lessons. To say one person gets all the weight in a relationship is very argumentative. It's all about how you set boundaries in relationships. It's supposed to be 100. But if we treat each other like 50-50, 70-30, or 60-30, whatever ratio you choose, you will never truly be satisfied, because you aren't all in. You just partially expecting to get all you can. And that's basically what she was saying in that song, Options. Like, why should I give you all of me if you treat me like an option? You not giving me all of you. You just want all my love, so you can have that and run with it. And it's like, that's not fair to me. And it's like, that's why I said we need to learn to love ourselves and to create a sacred space in the bonds that we create. Because if you just bonding off of trauma, then all you will experience is trauma in that relationship. Whereas opposed to if you're creating a sacred space, like, say for instance, if you do create a trauma bond with somebody, or you do have trauma bonds with people, you have to create a sacred space in that bond for you to cultivate new energy and new blessings. Because if God isn't in that relationship, then you're only working off of y'all two energy. If y'all not connected to the source of all energy, then y'all energy is not enough to carry the burdens of the world and y'all hearts. Like, and then, so then the next channel message I had was, pain from broken relationships can send you to a breaking point. And it's like, that's when you get to that final stage. I heard Erykah Badu say it best. Like, she said that if it's a girl or a man, whatever, she said, but if they just want to just be a hoe, let them keep being a hoe. Eventually, they're going to get tired of their own shit, and they're not going to want to be a hoe no more. And they're going to learn to grow up. And that's just what it is. Because you were supposed to experience everything that went on in your life. I don't care how bad it was. You were supposed to experience that. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have the knowledge that you have to make sure that never happens to you again or anyone around you again. That is your skills and experience. That is your story. That is how you will contribute to the storybooks of the future generation, of our descendants in the future. Like, that is that's your storybook. And it's like, to think that is like, whoa. So like, just like, and I say storybook because, like, just like Martin Luther King, he has a storybook. Malcolm X, he have a storybook. And I say that because his life is a storybook. And it's like, now once they pass on, that's the only way we remember them. I never met Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Susan B. Anthony. I don't know who it is, but Madam C.J. Walker. Like, I never met these people, but their stories have played a big role in my life. And it's like, we have the opportunity to do that for the next. And it's like, once you realize that, you have to do better. Because I ain't even gonna say too much right now. I'm just gonna show the book. Dr. Clyde Anderson. Check out his Breakfast Club interview. And it's like, oh, and also when I was doing all of this, I saw the number 555. Okay, like, then I had the quote. It's on my phone, and I'm on my phone, so I can't read the quote that I had to read. So that's unable. I'm unable to check that off the list because I have a list of things I wrote to say. And I had pulled a card, and it's Leo, lion, pride, ego, self, maintaining passion. So it's like yourself versus your spirit. Like, how are you balancing yourself? Like, when we talk about broken relationships, like, are you balancing yourself? Because, like, we have feminine and masculine energies in ourselves. Our feminine energy helps us. That's where we are giving energy, whereas opposed to our masculine is where we are receiving energy, because feminine gives, is nurturing, while masculine is protecting, whereas you are receiving information and you're delegating how to go about it. Cause that now the song stuck in my head. And the other song too is Show Me Love, 21 Savage and Alicia Keys with Miguel in it. Oh man, I love that song so much. But that's the first, because I had put my playlist on shuffle, and these the first two songs that came up. And like, Show Me Love, like that song just puts me in that mind state of like, just understand that like we are all learning and growing at our own pace. Just show love. Cause now I'm thinking of Lil Durk's song, It's All Love, cause that's all it is. And then I Ain't Mad at You by Rod Wave. And it's just like PTSD, and like, and Show Me Love, 21 Savage said something about PTSD, and I thought about coping. It's like, how do you cope with the things that you deal with on the daily? That shows how broken you are. Because man, shadow work is irritating, because you really gotta face the truth, and it hurts. Like, man, it hurts. Because being in your comfort zone doesn't work. That's where your dreams go to die. I literally wrote that on the paper. Like, do you not see it? I literally wrote it on the paper. It's crazy. And it's like, I was watching, yesterday I was watching Ed Love Dorsey's video, Eliminate the Fairy Tale. Oh my God. I watched all 59 minutes of that video because that's what just preached to my heart. Because only God knows how much I needed to hear that. Like, man. And that's just like learning to distinguish between self and spirit. Like, man. You gotta figure out your self-worth and how to be self-reliant and self-determination. That's African internationalism. I gotta put that out there because Chairman Omali, I should tell her that is a wonderful man. Like, that's someone y'all really need to get to know. This man been carrying this revolution for over 50 years. And it's like, he's the last leg to all of that revolutionary thing that I was just talking about. The people that really that started this for us, for real. Cause we could talk about Marcus Garvey, but we only know his story because of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And it's like, he was like that period birthed Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And he carried this idea of African internationalism. And you can Google it. Like, I ain't even gonna link it in the description because I want you to Google it. I want you to go on the YouTube channel, The Burn and Spill TV. I want you to check out impedum.org. You could join, donate. Like, we talking about liberating, unifying Africa and African people wherever we are. Like, I'm talking about you that's watching this. I'm talking about liberating you from this phone and from money and just economic justice. Like, no, justice. You see that word? Justice. That's what we working towards, okay? Real justice. Like, not none of that little shit that we thought we was getting, that was just a little pat on the ass. Like, nobody know little ass kids. Like, we don't want no little ass holiday. We don't want no little ass ice cream. Like, we're gonna put Juneteenth on the ice cream. Like, we deserve ice cream. Like, we buy ice cream, so we might want we might want Juneteenth on the ice cream. Like, oh, these niggas want that on the ice cream. These niggas will buy anything, so why not we get on that? Next, they gonna say Juneteenth watermelons only because it's red, black, and green. And just like, it is funny because people will really just go take that shit and run with it just because the white people laughing at us, and I'm laughing too because, like, anyways. Oh my goodness. I gotta promote because it's right here, and it's only right. Yo, this is what I use on my face. Like, it's a face scrub too, but this is at Decolonase. See? I'm keeping the name kind of hush-hush because I want y'all to look it up, like, for real. Don't just take what I say and go be like, oh, she said da-da-da. No, go look up what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to go into full detail. Like, all right, I'm going to read through what this Bible say. But when it comes down to what I do with my life, I want you to go look up exactly what I'm doing. And I want you to be a part of it. Like, I'm not on this phone trying to get subscribers and do all of this stuff. No, I'm trying to let y'all know the truth. I was blessed to be living. Like, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing this for anything, really. I just want to talk to somebody that understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, so we can do what we need to do. Like, and then, like, I'm about to read this. First, I'm going to read about us about Decolonize. Decolonize Hair and Body is an economic development project of the African National Women's Organization, ANWO. ANWO works to end oppression of African women, which is rooted in colonial domination of African people. This improves scalp condition, moisturized skin, total body oil. Always bear in mind that the people are not fighting for ideas, for the things in anyone's head. They are fighting to win material benefits, to live better and in peace, to see their lives go forward, to guarantee the future of their children. And that's all we working towards. That's all life is. Get your rebel oil. I think I'll make an amazing commercial person. Like, oh man. Man. Okay, now where was I at before I took a brain break of what I was talking about? Being in your comfort zone. Okay, that's where I'm gonna start at. So, like, being in your comfort zone. Okay. So, being in your comfort zone is like being in that place, like, of hopes and fear. Like, being in your hopes and fears. Being in the frame around that you created. That territory that you only feel safe in, that box that you put yourself in, that you allow people to put you in. That's your comfort zone. And it's like you never want to come out of it. You never want your fears to come true. You hope that everything that you want will ever come true. But it's like wherever you put how much of your energy is going towards your hopes, how much of your energy is going towards your fears. Inside that comfort zone is like being connected to, when I said like being connected to source, like in a relationship, y'all both have to be connected. Like, and being connected to each other, you got to be connected to the Most High so y'all can have that energy, that Trinity flowing. If you don't have that Trinity flowing in your relationship, a ray can only go two ways. Like, it can't even keep going in the same directions, like a line. I'm going math with it. Like, I know y'all know what I'm talking. Is it a line segment or a ray? No, it's a line segment. But the two dots, like these, like this. If you see it at the bottom, I don't feel like erasing anything. But right there, like, that's how, if you not connected to source, that's how your relationship going. But if you're connected to source, it's like this. Because then what you going through is gonna, you share. So say for instance, I'm going through something and I share it with you. And then you give me advice on it. That's real advice that I really needed to hear. And then I take it in and I understand it. And then I communicate back to you that I understand it. And then you communicate a story to me on which you learned, and then I understand that and I communicate. Like, it's just that. But whereas I communicate a story, and then you saying something to me, then I'm like, okay. And then I say a story, and you saying something to me, and I'll be like, oh, and then you be like, okay. And then you tell me a story, and then I tell you a story, and you just be like, okay. Or it's like, you do these things where I tell you a story, and then you go tell somebody else, and you go tell somebody else, and they go tell somebody else, and then it get back to me that you told my business, and then I take it to you. Then it's like, then you become stuck in this web of just like things that it didn't even need to happen. Like, that's literally what happens when you work within that, because you only gonna stay in the realms of that line segment, because you can only keep going like this. You can only keep going back and forth. Whereas opposed to if you're in a triangle, you can figure it out. At least it's flowing. Like, you get me? Like, it's flowing evenly. Like, it's just going. I know. You gotta math. We learned all of these math and stuff for a reason. So now the question is, how much of your energy is going to you every day? Like, do you start your day eliminating the fairy tale out of your own life for the day? Or do you go giving a fairy tale to other people and you haven't even gave from your overflow? Like, you haven't even filled your cup to capacity so you can give from your overflow. So it's like, how much of your energy is going towards you? How much is being cultivated within yourself? Because also, like, in saying, like, because like when I made this whole video, I was thinking on the thing of broken relationships, but it's like, we talk about broken relationships all the time. Like, all the time, everybody talk about broken relationships with other people. But what about the broken relationship with yourself? Like, talk about that broken relationship. That's a real conversation. That's the reason why people choose the pipe. That's the reason why people choose a bottle. That's the reason people smoke a blunt. That's the reason people smoke cigarettes. That's the reason people pop pills. That's the reason why that's the reason why we addicted to these phones. People addicted to food. People addicted to other people telling them what to do. That's the reason for addictions. That's the reason for all of that negative ass energy. That negative ass energy. Like, for real. And I was just reading a book earlier, and for so long she was very faithful, and like thinking about hopes and fears, the opposite. Like, once you get out of your comfort zone and you begin to feel discomfort. And that's because you are having faith and you're learning to trust what is in front of you. And in that book, that's what she brought to my attention. Like, for so long, she had faith in God, but she didn't like the G word, the actual God word. And it was like, A name is a name is not a name is a name. A name is only what you call it. Anything that you call it is only that. A child only has his name because it was given, they were given their name. They can easily change their name. They can easily say that isn't my name anymore when they get of age to say that. If a tree started talking right now and said, I am a bush, we have to respect that tree said it's a bush because it told us what its name is. Like, that's just, honestly, when you look at life, you really have to apply these universal laws to everything. You can't just pick and choose what you want to apply rules to. You can't. Like, and I say that because a parent only is a parent because the child taught them how to be a parent. Yes, as a parent, you teach your children how to become an adult, how to become a productive person, how to become a optimal human being. That is what you're supposed to teach your kids. I don't know what people do with their lives, but that's what you're supposed to do. Because you're supposed to give them everything that, and I heard Amora Armani, I love you, girl, because I was listening to your video. Like, I seen your YouTube and I just had to click it because I feel like you watching that. I feel your energy in my energy, and I just want you to know that because you really just said that, and she said her daughter didn't ask to be here, so she got to give her the world, and I love that because these kids ain't asked to be here, so we got to give them the things that we ain't never had. Like, I ain't got no kids, but I got little cousins. I got nieces and nephews. Like, it's little people around me. Like, I got a godson. He got a little brother and a little sister. I got friends that got kids. People I met along the way that got kids. Like, it's a lot of little people in the world. What are they going to inherit? They don't need these burdens that we carry for so long. Like me, I'm only 22, but I feel like I carried the burdens of the world too. Just learning about what we experienced in life and having this sense of urgency that this needs to be done. Because that dick ain't that good for you to keep getting played. Y'all really need to check out that song because it can really be applied to life in general, because nothing is too good for you to keep getting played. Money, take out dick and just put money. Money is not that good for you to keep being played. It's not worth it. It's the chaos. Like, do you want chaos or do you want peace? You can't have, you can't have both, but it can be both. Like, and I say that because you can choose peace, but that other person can choose chaos. That you cannot stop their journey. Because if you interfering with their destiny, it's going to stop yours. Let them have their chaos. It will eat itself away. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You just focus on your triangle. Because this line segment is going to turn into complete chaos. That's the difference between self and spirit. Scarcity and abundance. Love and fear. Broke and broken. Peace and love. Bye.